Attenzione, iniziando il Joe and Brian Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Joe and Brian podcast/show. I'm Joe, and I'm joined by Brian. Say hello to our audience, Brian.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. How is everyone?
Today, we're going to be discussing round 4 of Serie A. But Brian, I think we should give a special thanks to our viewers. I mean, we've been doing great recently. We've been attracting some unique viewers according to our analytics. So whoever those unique viewers are, give a little shout out in the comments. We love you guys. Keep tuning in week upon week. It's the motivation we need to continue.
Let yourself be known. Please identify yourselves. Come on. We're friends here. That's what we are. Just let us know. Give us feedback, really. That's what we're kind of after. Just knowing, how we can improve and make more better enjoyable content for you guys, So we all win here. It's a win-win.
Sure. And didn't you guys like that brand new intro? Brian made that, and I think it's sensational. I am a big fan.
Oh, thank you. Very humble. Very thank you. But it was an idea we both had, so it was a similar vision. I just managed to execute it. It wasn't crazy difficult, but it definitely wasn't easy.
So yeah, thank you everybody, and like I said, the longer you stay, the better this content will get, and that is what we're going for here.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this week of Serie A. Not the most exciting week. We had a few interesting games, but truthfully, it was one of the more boring games, especially after last week, where last week we had some just top tier games that are season defining so early. So obviously we're gonna have a drop off in content, but not content, but quality in games. But still, some good games to talk about. Joe, you want to start off?
Sure, and just one point I want to mention before we get into the specifics of the details of the games. It was UCL this week, so the players are definitely tired. There was some rotation happening throughout the league, so I think that can also kind of slightly explain these dip in results, these lack of goals, the lack of intensity in these games. As you start to have a long season with multiple games a week, it's definitely going to be an interesting Serie A. So, bringing us to our first game on Friday, we have Lecce and Cagliari. Brian, any comments you want to make upon this game?
I need to know.
Okay.
Maybe I'm jumping the gun here. I'm jumping the gun here because all I want to do is talk about Belotti. Belotti. I didn't even know that this guy was still able to kick a ball. I thought he was just permanently just injured, just done, away from football. The football left him. Today he gets. Well, not today, but Friday, he gets 2 goals. 2 goals. The game ends 2-1. So Cagliari win against Lecce. And it's all Belotti. And I needed to know who actually thought this guy would score goals. Because everyone and their mother has him in their fantasy team. Who thought he would actually score? Yeah, I saw everyone this weekend. Anyone who had high points had Belotti. And I'm like, there's no shot.
He must have been
without
cheap.
having a crystal ball. They needed a crystal ball. I saw people captaining him. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was, guess what I'm saying? So I need to know. The people who just magically know that Belotti was going to score 2 goals and have a fantastic game against Lecce. I need to know how you know, and then I need you to tell me next time because I need these points. I'm in dire straits, and please help a brother out, please.
Sure. I will say Belotti getting 2 goals is a little crazy, but also he's only 31 years old. He was previously at Benfica, which I didn't even know happened until the end of the season. Because he was at Como, he got hurt or whatever, and then he didn't do anything, and then I guess he got moved on, so that's interesting. I guess just getting into the game a little bit here. It starts off with Lecce scoring. Thiago Gabriel, that is. He is a young center back. I noticed him before the game. I didn't see him previously at Lecce, but yeah, he gets a good header, cross from Ricardo Sotil, who how was he at Milan, right? Yikes. So, good to get a goal, I guess. overall, his game wasn't all that great. He definitely led to a penalty for Cagliari, which gave Belotti his first, well, no, I guess his second goal. Another thing I'd like to mention is Sebastiano Esposito, former Interisti, brother of Pio Esposito and Salvatore. He hit the post twice, first the left and then the right post. So he had a pretty good rating during this game, but he probably deserved more. Unfortunate for him. Another thing I want to mention is Palestra. He is a young player from the Atalanta youth system. Very interesting from him. He would get occasional starts in, Conference League or, well, not Conference League, Europa League games or, at the end of a winning match. But it's good to see him finally starting for a team. He grabs the assist for Belotti. And, this is great to see. I always saw him more as a center back, but they're playing him out in a right back role. So, very interesting. I like this from Cagliari. They spent some money this summer. They made some money. So, overall, good Mercato. They're getting results against smaller teams. This is something you want to see.
Yeah, just one last thing. Mina too. I mean, everyone has Yerry Mina too. So he's going in my team expeditiously.
Oh,
so
for sure. Bang for buck, everybody.
I need this Cagliari team is going somewhere this season. I can't remember where I put them in my prediction, but whatever it is, up 3 because apparently their players are fucking fantastic against Lecce.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding 7th place. They're a point off of Cremonese in 6th. So they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. Also worth mentioning, Cremonese and Atalanta are on equal points, but we can get into that later.
Next game was Bologna versus Genoa. I mean, if you know anything about these teams, I think it's pretty clearly that you thought Bologna was going to win. That was very barely the case, but welcome to Serie A. Bologna wins this game 2-1 with a Orsolini 99th minute penalty to seal them the win. Joe, did you catch anything or see anything exciting from this game besides the penalty?
Sure. So Castro, he was very fortunate to have scored. I'm just going to leave it there. Watch the highlights, people. It was not a great goal. I do like Santiago Castro. He is my one to watch for this season. He is moving on to a bigger team. He needs to get more goals this season, more goal involvements. That's up to Vincenzo Italiano, but he is a great striker. I see Bernardeschi played his first game, so that's something to think about. He actually had a decent rating, and I didn't really see too much of him, but good to see. The penalty for Orsolini came from, unfortunately, Valentin Carboni, who is a great player and has such a bright future, but unfortunate handball in the box. Penalty.
Happens.
Orsolini wins the game in the 99th minute. So, unfortunate for Genoa. Good result for Bologna. They are 2-2, 2 wins, 2 losses. So, these are much needed points. You expect them to be higher on the table, but you know what? It's a long season, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, on the topic of disappointment, let's talk about this Hellas Verona and Juve game.
I lost.
I guess
so
this
much
was
money. Oh, jeez.
This was an important game, I suppose, because it reminded us that Juve are touchable, that Juve are not quite invincible. Because I was starting to give this guy Igor Tudor a little too much praise. I mean,
A little
Juve
bit.
dominated.
You were glazing them the past 2 podcasts.
I was low key, and then I got humbled right quick. I was sold by this beautiful, high scoring football. I mean, Yildiz was catching clips. I thought this guy was low key him. Then Hellas Verona comes around, and I'm like, you guys look fucking shit. This is Serie A. This is Juve.
Well, let me tell you something. Verona were robbed of a penalty during this game. And I know the Juve fans, I know they're complaining in their dungeon, but I swear to you, Verona should have won this game. Gift Orban, I'm very happy. It wasn't just for the penalty. He was their only attacking outlet. I'm very happy to see him.
He had like
him a week
20 shots. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We mentioned him. I remember that. No, this guy, well, how many shots did he have? He had 8 shots himself. I mean, he was the only attacking outlet, and everyone understood that. And he was taking rips from the halfway line. He took like 2. What player does that? but I like the confidence. I'd like to see him get some goals in a non set piece manner, so some non penalty goals, and
Sure.
I'd get him into my fantasy team pretty quickly because
Yeah, he's a
Vlahovic
good
ghosted
discount.
again.
See,
Vlahovic, what's
Vlahovic,
going on?
I wouldn't pick him in fantasy because he's not a guaranteed starter in my eyes. And I love Vlahovic, and I think he's doing really good. But you know what? Not every game is going to be his game. And Juve now have a lot of attacking outlets that they can alternate between. So this doesn't surprise me entirely.
I'm shitting a lot on Juve, but I mean they had a wonderful first goal from Conceição. I mean, did you catch that? You saw that goal, right? I mean, it was beautiful.
I subtly was rooting for Juve in the first half. Not gonna lie. So
After that goal, I just wanted to see them pump Verona like 6-0 with just banger after banger. But clearly, I was asking for too much.
No, that's fair. And despite my wishes, Verona look like they're gonna make it again in Serie A this year. I mean, there's just worse teams than them, and I just hate that keeps happening. But
I hate being wrong.
it's just ridiculous.
I need them down.
Here. And in other news,
I
I have to give a shout out for our viewers. If you are interested in Serie A B, there is an app for you. This is not sponsored. This is not a promo. I need to confirm the name of it. But if you want to watch Serie A B, for whatever reason, you're bored, the place for you is no, that's not in Italian. Destination Calcio. They have all the games on there for free. So get your Serie A B fix. Anyway, my point is this. How is a team like Palermo not in the league, but Verona is? I mean, it bothers me. It bothers me.
We're rooting for Palermo here, mainly because we've been to Palermo. We've watched games with the locals.
We've met staff of the Palermo team.
Yeah, so there's a little space in my heart for Palermo, but it's hard to catch them. Now we have an outlet to watch them, and maybe we can catch some games and get some analysis with Frankie on, because you guys seem to enjoy him. So hopefully
Sure.
We can get that going for you guys, especially if that's something that you're interested in. So let us know. Leave us a comment.
And as October rolls around, you will be seeing more Frankie. So for those viewers who miss him dearly, he will be back.
Okay, so I think that wraps up our segment on Verona and Juve. I mean, anything else you want to add about that game?
Absolutely not. I guess I am going to add something. Juve, I would argue one of those teams tired from the Champions League. They played a crazy game against Dortmund. This result does not surprise me entirely, to be fair. Verona's a tough team to break down, and, you got to give them their credit.
No, my expectations were far too high and pretty unreasonable. But you know what? A point is a point. Away from home, it is what it is. I'm not a Juve fan. I don't really give a shit. I just wanted to see a good game of football.
Same here.
But the game I do care about was Udinese versus Milan. And let me tell you, Allegri is the key. Allegri is the key. And so Milan won this game.
Brian. Allegri did not coach this game. It's my favorite coach, Marco Landucci. Landucci returns. For those of you who don't know, I have an obsession with Landucci, and there's no reason for any of you to care. But he needs to coach his own team. I have such hope for him. But he's 61, so it seems like it's not going to happen. But I'm rooting for it still.
So for context, for anyone who doesn't know, Allegri was sent off in the last match after the penalty was not given to Nkunku. And so he was not present for this match, and Landucci, the assistant manager, was there present at the touchline while Allegri was up in the stands. But this is still Allegri's tactics that he made throughout the week. And I was very impressed with what I saw. Milan win 3-0 against Udine, and there was some genuine concern here because Udinese took some points away from Inter earlier, and we're away. And I haven't truly been convinced by Allegri, but today he showed me something. He showed me that away from home we can get a result. Not only that, we could get a clean sheet. Clean sheet. Oh my God! Now that I've seen these string of results, seeing how many goals we're not conceding, I'm okay. I understand.
You get it? You see what I was trying to tell you about Allegri?
Now. I understand. I understand Allegri ball. I just don't have the patience for it because I'm just like, oh my God, this is you. It's like you're death by 1,000 passes. You just bleed them dry till they're tired and mentally exhausted, and then boom, you catch them, and I get it now. The Allegri miseria, I
Yeah, yeah.
understand it now.
He just wants you to
So
suffer. That's it.
the
And I would like to say this
the
is a very good result considering no Leao yet. This Milan could hit a new gear when he comes back.
and I think what this also is the fact that we're one of the big teams that doesn't play in Europe. So we had fresh legs. We
Mm-hmm.
had, we didn't have any games in the midweek. Now we're gonna have Copa, but everyone else has Copa too, and so it's
Not
we
everybody else.
benefited a
Only
lot.
the smaller
Well,
teams
not
have.
okay. All right, shut up. All right, but everyone, eventually will have Copa, unless they get knocked out. But that'd be terrible for them. But Milan really benefited from just having a high quality team with a lot of rest and time to recover, and they looked very productive. Christian Pulisic off the he didn't come off the bench; he started, but he had a phenomenal game. Even even managing to help Fofana score of all people. So I
Who
was
was getting
very
ragged
happy.
on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I was very happy with this game, and I can't complain. Truly, even with Manyan off, um, we looked good, defensively solid. I mean, Tereciano didn't have to do anything really, but you know, this is only Udine. We have to see how we do against another big team, especially when it's later in the season and we're a little more fatigued than we are now.
Sure. Do you expect excuse me, a formational change occurring with the arrival of Leao, or do you see Jimenez
No, he's
getting
striker.
what's
Yeah,
that?
he just benches. No, Leo's gonna be striker,
Three five
and
two. You
Jimenez
think
is
it's
gonna get
staying that
benched.
way?
hmm
Wow.
I think because he's also playing Loftus Cheek, so he plays two strikers, which is Pulisic, Jimenez. Actually, what he
It
does
could
is
be
I think he
three four.
changes his.
1-2. I could see this potentially happening.
Yeah, he does the 3-4-2-1 because then he has Nkunku play as a 10 like that he's best at, and so but because we're not playing with Nkunku, you know, as starting, he's not starting. We're not playing with that formation to start, so we start off with 3-5-2. But I think eventually when Nkunku's introduced, it becomes a 3-4-2-1, and someone like Salamakers plays the other 10 role, and
Yeah,
then we have
I
the
can see
the
that.
lone striker. But right now, because we have Jimenez as our striker, as our starting striker, only recognized striker, we play him as like the nine. But then eventually, when Leao comes back, he will be the nine because that's what Allegri did all preseason. Is he played them as Allegri or Leao as a striker? I think he played striker in the Copa game earlier where he got injured. So I like the question because it's we're seeing more. I'm seeing a lot from Allegri, even just from these few games, but
Salamakers.
it's
Oh
exciting.
my god. He
So good.
he. I mean, this is. I mean, he was good under Roma, but this really seems like a missed opportunity for Roma not to take the buyback clause. I mean, wow. Yeah,
He
this
looked
is regret.
phenomenal. He's in my fantasy team, and from the start, I just knew from the start. I was like, I think I saw some clips in preseason. I was like, he really does look like a complete player, and I think Allegri's given him the confidence.
Sure.
He's recognized the work he's done at Roma and how many years he's been in this league. Because even when at the beginning in Milan, we would see like flashes of Salamakers doing great things, and that was great.
It
But we
was.
never
I
saw
never thought
this.
he'd develop. I mean, I was wrong.
Yeah,
I'm happy a
I
little bit. I
there-
didn't
in
hate him
in
as a
the back
person.
of my mind, I did think that he might just be like one of these typical outsiders who come to the league. They have good moments, but never really flourish into anything. His time in Roma was spent very well, and I guess he really, really wanted to make an impact. I guess the refreshment at Milan really helped that we were starting anew, and he's a young player with raw talent who fits in the system. I think the stars aligned, and we're playing towards our strengths for once, and it's starting to work out, and I'm so happy.
And also, he started to play for Belgium as well. And I think when you also consider that a lot of these players want to perform for the national team, he's been doing well. He's got 3 assists in 4 World Cup qualifiers. So all said and done, I think this is pretty good all around from Salamakers. I'm happy to see the turnaround and just the growth in him as a person and as a player.
Yeah, that was probably our most exciting game of the season so far, and probably of this match week, bar perhaps the Atalanta game. We'll get into that in just a moment, but before that, we do need to talk about the Derby della Capitale,
See,
Lazio Roma. Joe,
very
uh
interesting game we had here.
yeah,
Don't let the
I
scoreline confuse you. I want to build a little context around this game. For whatever reason, ultras from around Europe flooded to the Stadio Olimpico for Lazio Roma. The Romans decided to implement 1,500 police officers at the stadium, which is, you know, a lot considering what a normal, we've been to the San Siro, or not San Siro, we've been to Stadio Olimpico,
we
and it's
have.
not the security really isn't great there. So it is good to see like a huge influx of people because you know how these derbies go. It's violent, but I believe West Ham came over to support Lazio. Panathinaikos, I believe, came over to support Roma. All these
What?
ultra groups.
This
You
is
didn't hear about this?
crazy.
It was like the
I didn't hear
Avengers.
about this.
Oh, it's
No, I
somewhere
didn't
on
hear
Twitter.
about
I
this.
don't have the exact list ever because I'm a terrible podcaster. But if I find the graphic, everybody, I'll throw it up on the screen. But yeah, no, ultra groups from around Europe, they rallied behind their teams in these respective derbies. And I've thought about it. Like, I've seen certain, like, games. I remember against Atletico when Inter played them in the Champions League a year or two ago. There was, like, flags and banners from, like, other clubs. And I was like, why are they here against Inter? It was just weird. But a lot of these ultra groups have close bonds. I think Evans has even said Olympiacos and what is it, Red Star Belgrade. They're also like an
Yep.
alliance. So yeah, there's a whole Game of Thrones universe happening in the world of Calcio, guys. So keep an eye out for all that.
That was the more exciting part because this game there were not many goals. There were a lot of red cards, but
A
not
lot of
many goals.
chances. A lot of chances. I mean, Pellegrini grabs the sole goal of the game. Sule with the assist, which I love Sule, so this is great to see. Also have him in fantasy, or maybe I don't anymore. I don't know. I should look into that. But good performance from him. Pellegrini, like I said, a fringe player for Roma, but at 29, he still scores for them. Always a Romanisti, kisses the badge. You love to see it. Maybe now Gasparini can decide to have another tool, in his tool belt. So this is a good result for Roma. Lazio had chances. Dia missed a clear chance. At the second half, Lazio started to come back. A silly challenge leads to Belayan getting sent off, followed by Guendouzi towards the end of the match, just shouting at the ref. So, yeah, it was a typical Rome derby. Nothing too crazy from this. And if you look at the head-to-head between these teams, 12 wins for Lazio, 8 draws, 15 wins for Roma. The previous derby was a 1-1. And before that, it was a 2-0 for Roma and a 1-0 for Roma. So Lazio haven't won a derby since 2024. Yikes. Something they should look into.
Yeah, I figured Roma was gonna win this one. I thought they were gonna win it in a little more of a convincing manner,
I
but
agree.
I also did think this could happen as well. I expected Lazio to put up. I mean, no, they did put up a good fight, literally. But it wasn't a captivating game, and neither was this next one, the Cremonese Parma game. No. What's there to talk about?
We're not. That's it. We're not even going to say
Good for
anything.
Cremo. Good for Cremo, I guess. A point. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
guess Parma too. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, we're
Next
not even.
game. This
That's
one's
it. That's all we're
this
going to
this.
say.
Yep, that's it. Next game, Torino versus Atalanta. Atalanta
Ah,
cruise
good for
by
the
with a
fantasy.
3-0
Good for the
win.
fantasy.
I hate you. I hate the fact
We talked
that we
about it,
talked
guys.
about
Take the advice.
we
Kristovic, excellent, excellent
we talked
performance.
about it. I even made a comment about I bet Krostovic is so cheap, and I was like, because he's not going to score. But no, he got so many points, and I needed that. And you did so good this week, and I'm so upset I didn't pick him up. And I know if I pick him up, he's gonna go for the next 8 games, and I'm gonna be
I
so upset.
also picked up Karnaseki, who got a penalty save, so I'm feeling real good this week.
Dude, Carnosecchi needs to get on my team ASAP, and I need to get rid of Di Gregorio because what is this Juve defense?
They're figuring it out. That's what's happening.
I can't afford for them to figure it out. It's costing me a lot. So we need to move on from Mario, and we need to get some real defenders in the team, like Yarimina.
Sure, but we could save that for the Fantacalcio section. Suleimana, very interesting. I had a lot of questions about their signing of him, but he got a goal and an assist. Good to see from him. He actually had a couple other chances he could have scored, so this is progressive from Roma. This is a, not Roma, oh my, from Atalanta. This is a good tool in not Gasperini anymore, but Ivan Juric's belt. So, honestly, he's impressing me. I thought he was going to do way worse. He had a shaky start, but he has Atalanta in 5th place. 2 wins, 2 draws, no losses. So he's doing better than Inter, so I can't say too much. Nothing negative here.
No, it's nice for Atalanta to be doing good. I don't really have a horse in this race, but for the league, just some excitement. Because if all the games suck, then something's wrong with the league. We need to
Sure.
do something about that. So
But yeah,
nothing more to
Zalewski
add
and
there.
Heen both injured, though, early in the game, so that is an
A lot of
unfortunate thing.
injuries, actually. We're seeing more injuries. Both of them are out. But then you look at the bench and who's already injured. Like Scalvini didn't even
Yeah.
play. Scalvini's in my fantasy team.
No
Scalvini got me 0
Kolasinac, no
points.
Ederson, no De Ketteler, Skamaka, or Michel Bakker. So this is a good result considering the lack of personnel. I think this also helps to explain what happened against PSG too for Atalanta. So I think they can grow into the season. They need to get their boys back though. And Lookman, he
Yep.
is getting reintegrated into the team as well. So that's good, I guess,
Yeah.
to see.
Played like 3 minutes, but you know, better than nothing, I guess.
It's a sign. It's a sign of progress.
Next game though. Suppose we don't cover enough Fiorentina as much as we would like to, but the Fiorentina Como game ends in spectacular fashion with Adai taking a sorry, let me restart. The Fiorentina game ends 2-1 with Como winning by Adai scoring in the 94th minute. I wish Fiorentina would produce more, but that's the Pioli effect. So I don't know what people were really thinking. If you're confused, that's exactly how you should be feeling because that's what Pioli does. He got himself a yellow. He gets those pretty often. But other than that, I mean, he's playing a 4-4-2. What?
I think this might not be a permanent thing. I think Pioli's getting desperate. I think he's tried a few formations thus far, just trying to find something that works. And to be fair, to give him his credit, they were holding that 1-0, but Como just looks so dangerous. And Nico Paz, I mean, Brian, I mean, watching this guy is just beautiful football. Beautiful football. He's why I tune into Como. And I love Indonesia. I just want to make sure that we shout out Indonesia. Jakarta,
Yes,
Indonesia. We love
we
Indonesia,
love
everybody.
Indonesia. Shout out Indonesia.
Indonesia's great. So yeah, that is the big takeaway from this game. That being said, Paz of 2 assists, great for fantasy.
Beautiful for
Mandragora got
fantasy.
the goal. Underrated shout for a midfielder. Not gonna lie, he's got 2 goals so far this season. So yeah, maybe that's not a bad pickup for those teams. You know, if you need a new player, look at Mandragora. Maybe he'll get you something nice. Even though he's a money launderer, so don't worry about that.
Two injuries in this game as well. We had Tariq Lamptey and Sergio Roberto coming off. I'm a big fan of Tariq Lamptey. I don't know if you know anything about him because he played at Brighton for a little bit. He's 24 now, but it was nice to see him start getting some time. Now he's injured again. He's always struggled with that, so that sucks. Sergio Roberto, he's 33. Played him in the midfield. He probably didn't have the legs for it. Who knows what happened, but uh, he's 33. These things are expected. A lot of experience that's lacking on this Como team that he brings, but hopefully it's nothing serious because he is a former Barca player and unfortunate Barca legend. So gotta give respect where it's due.
Sure, and I will say Adai with the game-winning goal. I mean, he was one of these signings that I believe we covered in our transfer video. For those of you who are not aware of what's happening in the league, watch the transfer video. We broke down every team, but he was one of those interesting signings. Como spent a fair chunk of change on him, and you wonder why. Well, now you're starting to see why. A young player, he's only 20 years old, left-footed, gets the goal, gets the game winner. This is the kind of stuff you want to see. This is what's good for the league, developing young talents, especially at Como, where there seems to be a very nice project here. And, they're going to have some up and down results, but ultimately they're in 8th place right now. They're doing well. And, yeah, all good things.
So, do you remember what you said last week about Inter and Sassuolo?
Yes, I was wrong.
You
Happily.
said, yeah, you were wrong. Well, I was only hoping that you would be correct, which is a good thing for you. Would have meant that Inter loses, but hey, you would have been correct though. But
Sure.
unfortunately, that was not the result. Inter won 2-1 against Sassuolo. You want to break down what you saw from Chivo this week and anything you want to
Yeah.
rant about?
Well, this was good overall. He gave Pio Esposito the start, so this is Pio's second start now for Inter. No goal. He had a beautiful chance. I mean, he's a difficult player because his finishing isn't there yet, but he's in all the right spaces, all the right times. What he needs is a little bit better work on his touch. He needs a little bit better with his finishing. Not to say he can't. He just needs to be more confident with it. Because he's linking up really well in play with Taram. It was dangerous from Inter. All said and done, DiMarco had a great game, which is rare for me to say. A nice assist by Sukic. You'll love to see it. Sukic now with 2 assists this season. He's really becoming such a great player in front of my eyes. I'm so happy that we signed him, and this is like the rejuvenation that this midfield needed. Denzel with a slight knock, and some other players getting some more time. Luis Enrique, Davide Fratesi basically scored a goal. I believe it was ruled offside, but it was a good finish from him. Good to see him performing and showing signs of life, regardless if he didn't actually get the goal. I like what I've seen from Kivu, and a lot of rotation happened this game. No Lautaro, no Bastoni, and I think that's very good moving forward. I think you need to keep the guys fresh and rotated. And I think Kivu's learning as he's going here. He's finally on 2 wins in a row. You'll love to see it. I think there's definitely great signs from him, and Inter's lineup over the next few weeks is pretty easy, all things being said. So let's get some mandatory points in the Champions League as well in Serie A. And his first real challenge, though, will be against Roma. I think he proved to have a lot of courage despite the loss against Juve. So, yeah, if you could get a result over Roma, over Gasparini, I think that's a really positive step in the right direction.
It's a good step for you guys. I think Chivu's getting his hands on the reins and controlling things, but it is only Sassuolo. I do think Sassuolo are in the relegation battle, so I think they got lucky the other week with some good points, but I
Sassuolo
think
made it
overall it's going to
spicy,
be
though,
a
at the end. It wasn't a guaranteed Inter win. They started pushing us kind of hard, as Sassuolo does. I'm just happy we were able to see out the result. But yeah.
so basically in this Inter Sassuolo game, everyone but your striker scored. Like what happened to Ram? I needed points this week, and he was probably really tired. I get it, but I no one on his Inter team, not even an assist. None of your strikers scored. It's just midfielders and wingers who are coming up with stuff.
And I think that's important. You need to see that from a team. It shows dedication. It shows commitment within the squad. I think it shows that you're not dependent upon your main number nines. And Inter have 4 really good attacking options. And as we know, Lautaro is very accustomed to dropping deep into play. Boni has said himself that he loves an assist more than a goal, and that's a very interesting statement to hear from a striker, but you love that mentality, especially from a younger player. So, all in all, I don't see it as a bad thing.
Yep, good step in the right direction. Wish you the best of luck, unless you're playing against me. Otherwise, vafangulo. But anyway, that wraps up that day of football. And now we're getting into the last day of the match week, which was technically today. Would have been yesterday for you guys when you guys hear this. But it is the Napoli versus Pisa game. think we all expected a very easy Napoli win.
But it
Wasn't
wasn't.
quite.
It
Wasn't
was.
quite. So
It
what's
was.
happening here, Conte? Conte, dimmi, ma che fai? Bello,
Well,
dimmi.
as the spokesperson for Antonio Conte, after that rough game against City, Napoli is tired. You're seeing a lot of the same guys starting. Conte loves his players and he will play them. There was some changes. You saw Elmas, you saw Billy Gilmore, who had a nice goal, to be fair. He opened it up for everybody here, which is very important. That being said, though, De Bruyne was running up and down the pitch the entire game. And Napoli initially scored and it looked very comfortable, but then Pisa started getting hungry. And Zola gets a penalty. He
I
slots it
remember
in.
him.
Yeah, he had a 20-goal season or something like that with Spezia back in the day. He's not a bad player. He's floated around some teams. He just hasn't been able to replicate what he had. He's now 29, so he could still give a good season or two. And I think for Pisa, if they can get him firing, this could be a good tool to help you avoid relegation. Akan Samiro, young Inter player, Abishir from Bologna. Not a bad team overall. Some interesting players. They also had a goal from Loran, who is a young player, 19 years old, I believe, Brazilian. He gets a pass from Angori, who I did not know, but he's a young 21-year-old. So for those of you who need a fantasy defender, someone to look into. But yeah, he comes on the 74th minute, he grabs a goal, and Loran, it becomes a very tight game, but it's 3-2 ultimately in the end. Luca gets his first goal, which is very important. It's showing that Conte can put in these newer guys to Napoli and get something out of them. So all in all, very good.
Yeah, a bunch of young guys, but also a bunch of old guys. As Juan Cuadrado also came on. Forgot
Sure.
about him. I thought he was actually done, but
No.
apparently
He's
not.
still kicking.
Apparently not. No bueno for me today, fantasy wise, from Napoli. I had all
Very
my
good
eggs in
with the
De
McTominay.
Bruyne basket. Yeah, I think it's time to swap out De Bruyne for McTominay. In a game where you needed something to happen, McTominay made it happen, not De Bruyne. De Bruyne's there for penalties, but McTominay scores more goals and he plays the Maradona role, so I need to make that swap, I think.
Sure. And one thing I want to mention, next game for Napoli is Milan. This is going to be an interesting battle. Do Napoli drop points? Does Allegri receive a loss? I don't know. It's a very interesting game.
I would be over the moon with a draw. I would be over the moon and over Mars and over Jupiter and Uranus if we win. But I need to be realistic. I need to temper my
Milan
expectations just
is at
because
home.
it wouldn't be the first time we've disappointed at home.
it wouldn't, especially without the ultras present now. It's a quieter San Siro for both teams.
Yeah, so I don't know. I need to ponder about that for a while. I need to see if Leao's going to be fit. I think he is. I need to figure out what's going on with Napoli because they lost Buongiorno too. So I don't think I'm gonna have any Milan or Napoli defenders in my team for fantasy. I think this is gonna be. I need to look at what's coming up, but I'm excited because that means good football. So I hope. I think Napoli are gonna have most of the possession. I think we're gonna be playing Allegri ball when we do, but I think Allegri might pull off something crazy, especially if Leao's back.
Yeah, I mean, Allegri and Conte, they have great matches. Even when Conte was at Inter and Allegri was at Juve, it wasn't a guarantee for Conte. I mean, I believe Juve beat us a time or two, so never discount the man.
Let's see what happens.
We will.
So we do want to touch upon just the next round for Serie A. We have some exciting games. Just want to talk about that right now. Joe, what do we have in the lineup?
Sure. So for Saturday, September 27th, we have Como and Cremonese, followed by Juventus and Atalanta. That is a good game. Cagliari and Inter, with Cagliari being at home. I think that's a tough game, but it should be a win. I predict like a 2-1. Sassuolo, Udinese, for Sunday, beginning those fixtures. Pisa, Fiorentina following, Roma, Verona, Lecce, Bologna, and then Milan and Napoli. Followed by Monday, which is Parma and Torino, Genoa and Lazio.
This is lovely.
This
I
is
mean,
good.
the first 3 games of Saturday, all 3 of them great games. I have all intention to sit down and just watch them all straight because they look great. I'm excited for all of them. Como Cremo, yep, Cremo's been doing great. Como is fantastic like always, but I really want to make an effort to watch Como play this game against and see how they do against Cremonese.
I can
Juventus
see a draw.
Atalanta.
I don't know. Call me crazy.
I could see anything here.
Yeah.
I could see anything. That's the exciting part. Juve, Atalanta. What more do I need to say? I mean, 3 great attacking teams. We'll see what happens with the defense for either of them. That's going to be the telling story.
This could be a Juve gold
And then
fest
Inter.
for sure.
Could be, could not. Who knows? Let's see what Igor cooks up. Cagliari Inter. I think it should be a win for Inter.
Should be.
In my opinion.
I think it's a failure,
But,
if anything else.
Cagliari is not the easiest team
No.
to come up against. So I wouldn't be surprised if at home Cagliari did something. They're not a bad team this season. I'm pretty excited for that. But it's Inter. Inter is Inter. You know, what can you do? Then the next day, not that exciting. Obviously we have the Milan Napoli game. Obviously I care about that game so much, and we just spoke about it. But truthfully, there's nothing crazy that I really expect happening on Sunday, just besides that Milan game.
No, I agree. It's really a matter of if Fiorentina get a win, in my opinion. Looking at the table, they have simply they're in 17th. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So if they're going to win, Pisa would be a great opportunity because they are in relegation right now.
I think this might be the first game. No. What am I saying? This is going to be a match week for my fantasy where I have a lot of Fiorentina defenders, I think. I think this might be... Because I'm not seeing a lot of clean sheets. But if they are clean sheets, I'm not seeing a lot of goals either. So it's like Fiorentina might be the only sure bet here.
I think you take Roma, and I feel good about that. I like the idea of Inter, and I would take Como to win or draw, and I think that could build you a nice parlay. But we don't condone betting on this channel
Yes.
or support it.
Yes, don't
bet.
do it. Never.
But if you are over
But-
the age and you want a referral code, Brian and I could hook you up. So there is that as well.
In theory.
In
theory. But don't bet. We don't promote
We
that
do
stuff.
not. That's terrible, evil.
And then the games that leak over into Monday are just the Parma Torino game.
I think
Who
Genoa
cares?
is going to give Lazio
Genoa,
a run for
Lazio.
their money, especially with the red cards now. All the injuries. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to...
Lazio are going to feel it now. Lazio are going to feel it. And it's early. It is early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, just going through the league table, it's Napoli in first, followed by Juve, Milan, Roma, Atalanta, Cremonese, Cagliari, Como, Udinese, Inter in 10th. From 11th, it's Bologna, Torino, Lazio, Sassuolo, Verona, Genoa, Fiorentina, Parma, Pisa, Lecce at the bottom. Okay, everybody, now that it's time for the near end of the episode, I think it's a great time to do fantasy.
I've been itching because there's a lot I need to do. But the problem is, Joe, I don't know, maybe it's different for you. I can't make transfers yet because match week ended literally hours ago. That Napoli game was not that long ago, and they won't let me make transfers. How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm also not able to make transfers. But that being said, I think it's still good to recap what we have. And for next week's episode, we'll tell you what we did. Or you'll see what we did. And I might even give a few ideas as to what I might do. But just going through it, I received 226 points. Nice. Good. This is
a good game.
Starting in goal, Carnesecchi with 41 points. Ranieri of Fiorentina with only 6. Bakumba with 12.3. Akanji with 11.3. Carboni with the penalty minus point 0.8. Rabiot with 19, he was a new acquisition. McTominay with 15. Nico Paz with 35. Kristovic with 40. Holman for 10. Sule for 16.
This, oh, I hate how good you did,
Also,
bro.
Fabregas with 18. I just have to throw that out there as well.
Yeah, we share a lot of players. So we do share a similar amount of points. Although you did outperform me this week, I only had 190 points. What I would have thought was a good performance, but clearly not good enough. The big guys who carried in my team were Pulisic with 52 points, and I didn't even captain him. Maron, I feel so dumb for that because you know who my captain is? De Bruyne, 20 points. So that means he really got like 15 points. Um, Salamakers with another great performance, no goal or assist, but he still did get 20. Actually, I think, no, yes, I'm correct. No goal or assist, but still managed to get me 20 points. Modric pulling strings, 18 points. Nico Paz as well, 35 points. So all my points came from my midfield and Pulisic, because Thuram and Vlahovic absolutely ghosted, giving me a combined total of like 6 points. And then the defense, no better. Scalvini didn't even play. He's out till like early October. Gian Mario got 3 points. Ranieri got 6 points. Okay, that's great. But Di Gregorio got 10. So, oh my goodness, I'm swimming in it, apparently. Fucking Fabregas got 18. He saved me there, but fucking Juve. I'm never trusting this bummy ass organization again.
Wow. I just wanted to tell everybody that in our group that we're in, there's 227 participants. For this round, I finished 4th place. In total, though, I am in 27th. So not bad. I definitely climbed up the ladder a lot from 80th last week.
This round I'm 21st, so not an awful performance, but could have been better. Overall though, I'm 47th, so I'm lagging behind.
And how many points are you at?
So I need a good. I have 665.4.
I have 698.4. The league leader is at 813, so not an insurmountable number to climb. I do need to see who this guy has. Yeah, he took Politano,
Exactly.
Orsolini, Atta, Paz, Salamaker, McTominay, Indica, Terracciano, Luperto, Christensen, Aldero, with Joric as the manager. I mean,
Actually, the Reggiano might be a shout. He's played really good in his time so far. I mean, really impressive performances, even getting a goal the other day. So maybe this guy's cooking with that Reggiano.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not thrilled here. I don't think this guy's going to sustain whatever he's got going on, so we'll see. He actually had a pretty bad round in the match week. Now, these people who took Belotti for 57 points.
That's what I'm saying.
Nico Paz, I understand, Buongiorno. The rest of the team makes sense. It feels like Belotti was like a desperate buy, but it worked.
It was a Hail Mary, and they hit the lottery. I'm so upset by this.
Yeah, wow. I mean, listen, the next match weeks are going to be very interesting. I think fantasy is going to be just up and down throughout the season. People will stop caring, will climb, others will fall. It'll be a real battle. But just looking at my team, the only real changes I feel like I'll make are Akanji I want out, and maybe Ranieri I'll take out. I think McTominay is going to stay, and Carboni, I do love him, but he has not done anything. So maybe for equal value, I can kind of readjust the midfield with some more cash and see what can happen.
I don't even know. I do
have a spare
this
credit
defense
as well.
needs some help. You see, my concern is I don't want to take out these Juve players because they're scoring so many goals. I don't want to rotate them out just because they have one bad game. But then again, it's like they have Atalanta coming up. So are they really going to get a result there? I mean, they're home, but like still, it's like, are Atalanta going to cook? I don't know. I don't know. I'm hesitant to make this change, but something needs to change. I know that for certain.
I think just from a market value perspective, I'm not going to look for any deals. I might ride with my team, 1 or 2 people out, but overall, this is where it's going to finish.
Midfield's good. Defense needs changing, but Ugh, the striker department. I'm worried. I think Vlahovic finally gets the boot because he's not a guaranteed starter, and when he does start, he sucks. So maybe I switch to maybe I scrounge up some points and get Yildiz in.
Yeah, I have Yildiz. He didn't perform this week, but I feel like he'll turn up in a big game, so we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. So, well, anything else you want to add for this week's episode, Joe?
That's it. I say we just thank our viewers, and because they're the reason why we're here. Most importantly, not for the fame, not for the clout of having 10 subscribers, which is a great accomplishment. YouTube even gave us a notification saying, "Hey, here's your 10 subscriber badge," and I thought that was pretty cool. So, Brian, I think we should applaud ourselves.
Whoop, whoop. Yes. Round of applause, guys. Thank you. So, now that we're done with that, one last thing is just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. This is a community first and foremost. Like Joe said, we do this for you guys. So let us know, give us feedback, and let us know how we can improve and make better content for you guys. So, but besides that, all I have to say is ciao tutti.
Ciao tutti.